Hey everybody, Jem Schofield here, and welcome to the Canon EOS C300 Mark II video tutorial series. In this video, we're going to be talking about recording externally with the camera system. Okay, so when we want to record externally from the C300 Mark II, we go into the recording media setup menu, and the first thing we want to do is choose Rec Out, and we have two options. We have 2K, which will spit out of that terminal a 2K uncompressed signal, or we have 4K RAW. And I'm going to choose 4K RAW. Now that that's selected, that's what's going to be coming out of this terminal. I can also decide what color space is coming out of there. We can choose either Cinema Gamut or BT 2020 Gamut. We'll leave it at Cinema Gamut for now. With this chosen, I now have an SDI cable here that is ready to plug into an external recorder. I have here the Odyssey 7Q Plus from Convergent Design, and it is in fact set up to receive a raw signal. I'm just going to go up here and you'll see uncompressed raw, and it's going to do a raw to raw recording the way it's set up. So I'm going to plug that into the 7Q Plus, and it's going to get that signal immediately. And if I want, I can even change that and not do a raw to raw. I have an option here to be able to do a raw to a ProRes file, and if I choose that, it's going to take a little while to reboot that when I say OK, but it will now take that raw signal and convert it to a 10-bit ProRes HQ file. It's going to record a QuickTime movie in that situation. So a really great option here, a small footprint recorder that's letting us take that 4K raw output from the camera and do a raw to raw or a raw to ProRes recording immediately there. Now I'm going to go ahead and let that finish booting up, and there it is. And now we're doing raw to ProRes HQ. Now, one other thing that I do want to talk to you about is the monitor terminal when we're talking about external recording. So we're going to go into now a different menu. We're going to go down to our Picture Terminals Setup menu, and inside of there we have this Mon Terminal option, and inside of there we can decide what is coming out of the monitor terminal on the C300 Mark II. We can just spit out a straight 1080. We can choose a 1080 or 2K, depending on our recording options and how they're set on the camera system itself. And we also have the option for 4K RAW priority. And that will now spit that 4K RAW directly out of here. Now, it doesn't matter if your on-screen displays are set to on in that menu that we were looking at before. Those will only apply to a 2K or less image that's being spit out of the monitor terminal. As soon as we choose 4K RAW priority, it's also going to be a clean signal. And what does that mean in the real world? It means that when we have both of them set to 4K RAW priority, that we can send out that raw signal from the rec out to something like an external recorder like the 7Q Plus. And then we can also send another 4K signal out to something like the DPV 2410 for onset monitoring and color correction. So for me, really, really fantastic in terms of options. What we're looking at here is a camera system that is built for future production in terms of what the options are, both for internal and external recording.